Thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe Television to get yourself informed on what's happening in and also out of Cameroon. We begin this newscast with our major stories tonight. A CRM meeting in Buda, a locality found the Bambutus division of the West region of Cameroon, ends in chaos as heavily built men disrupt the gathering, demanding the release of some jailed members of the party arrested after the 2018 and 2025 post-election protest. Without directly blaming the government, the over 10 men called on the CRM leader, Professor Maurice Kamto, to take action and secure the release of the detained militants. The big question remains, who is behind the chaos? Stay tuned for answers. And also, persons living with disabilities in Cameroon's northwest and southwest regions are paying a heavy price amid the crisis. Kesa Princely's research revealed shocking vulnerabilities, especially for those with visual impairments. Those are top stories tonight. Good evening once more, and thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe Television. Thank you for staying with us for presentation. I am Immaculate Fogwe. A man has been saved by security forces from being lynched by the population of Oyaktu in the Douala municipality on Monday evening. He reportedly burnt the palms of 3 children between the ages of 6 and 8 years old for alleged disobedience and stealing in the neighborhood. The victims are his son, his late sister's children. He was whisked to the Lokbaba Gendarmerie Brigade after being administered snake beatings. Details with Innocent Aze.
A crowd of angry residents of Oyaktu Quarter in the Douala municipality, most of them women, eager to lynch a man in his 30s Monday evening for allegedly burning the palms of 3 children between the ages of 6 and 8 years with a heated metal spoon. Among the children he inflicted the injuries, 2 are his late sister's children, a boy and a girl, and the second boy being his son he had with his former partner. According to the quarter heads of Oyaktu, the man told him and security officials that the regrettable action stemmed from anger provoked by atrocities committed by the children in the quarter. Repeated complaints from neighbors, they steal from them. An act that occurred a couple of days ago, but only discovered by the man's neighbor on Monday when the children returned from school. She says she noticed their palms had burns when they came to collect the keys of the house their father gave her to keep for them. She was astonished with the reason their father inflicted them the injuries. It was when the news spread that the residents came out in their numbers and in agitation, with some promising to deal with their father when he returns. She adds that the man and his new partner who had traveled have the habits of beating and punishing the children in the name of teaching and correcting them. The man, who was almost lynched by the angry population, was taken to the Lokbaba Gendarmerie Brigade alongside the 3 children after they were taken to a clinic in the quarter for medical care.
Comme je dirais de manière physique, les paumes de main étaient totalement libres. Nous avons juste fait un simple bandage et la police les a amenés. C'était pas grand chose.
Maintenant, il fallait donc sortir le monsieur pour l'amener. The quarterhead says it was not easy to take the accused man away. As a listened quarterhead, he had to calm down the angry locals before the gendarmes could carry him away.
On a fait venir la pick-up. La pick-up a garé juste devant la clinique.
The man's new partner, who is yet to return from her trip, the population say will be dealt with severely if she dares return.
Les populations ont dit que celle-là qui est partie, comme elle a à Bafia là, quand elle va revenir, elle ne va plus entrer là-bas dans la maison parce qu'il y aura vraiment, on va la chasser du quartier.
At the time of this report, the population had not gotten updates about the 3 children and their father, all taken to the Lokbaba Gendarmerie Brigade Monday night.
And now we talk something else. Cameroonian writer and activist Calix Beala is casting doubt on the possibility of winning an election in Cameroon in the present political system. She thinks that all the debates on the upcoming elections are worthless and unproductive in a context where problems triggered by the last election are still unresolved. Babla Jonathan gives us more details of her thoughts.
Writer and activist Calix Beyala is outraged by debates about the forthcoming municipal and legislative elections in Cameroon, a little over 2 months after the contested presidential election results were proclaimed by the Constitutional Council. She says a people without memory is a danger to itself.
I see people here and there debating the upcoming election in Cameroon, and there's a real argument between those who want to participate and those who want to boycott them. And I wonder about the point of this whole charade. Have we already forgotten about 2025? It was yesterday. Issa Chiroma won the presidential election by a landslide against Paul Biya.
She is concerned about the deaths, arrests and detention recorded in the post-election protest.
There are also many imprisoned activists, and let's not forget Jotham Chamini, whose only crime was supporting Chiroma's candidacy and who is currently suffering in Kondegi prison. And let's not forget Anise Ikane, who died in their hands.
Calix Beyala puts a question mark on the possibility of winning an election against the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement and the feasibility of a peaceful transition via the ballot box in the present political system in the country.
Parents have an important role to play concerning the education of their children. With the advent of mobile phones, sporadic checks must be done and dialogue with children must be prioritized. Innocent Azet spoke with some parents across the streets of Douala, and they gave us their views on how they manage to help their children stay checked when it comes to mobile phone usage. His report.
C'est-à-dire que avec les réseaux sociaux, actuellement, il faut veiller. Il faut savoir comment...
The advent of new information and communication technology seems to be having huge adverse consequences on the moral values of youth in Cameroon.
Ce que nous vivons dans les réseaux sociaux aujourd'hui, ou dans nos vies quotidiennes aujourd'hui, montre un peu l'échec de l'éducation.
Mobile phones in the hands of school children have negative repercussions on their daily lives, and the parents must be watchful.
Il y a des applications dans le téléphone, un peu comme le contrôle parental, qu'il faut toujours installer dans le téléphone, et même dans la télévision.
Sporadic checks of school bags before and after classes should be normalized so as to avoid unpleasant surprises.
Chaque matin, même le soir quand tu rentres, vérifie parce qu'ici, on a eu à sortir de la drogue dans la poche des enfants.
The family remains the most important unit of the society, and for a child to be upright, moral education must begin from the family, with the parents playing an important role.
Apprenez à l'enfant qu'il faut souffrir avant de manger.
Research. And now we talk something else. Kesa Princely, a person living with visual impairment, in a research conducted, reveals that people living with disabilities, particularly those with visual impairment in the crisis-ridden northwest and southwest regions, are highly vulnerable. According to his research, some have lost their lives due to the lack of accessible information. He suggests that the media men be drilled on inclusive communication. Rex Afon spoke to some visually impaired persons who also shared their experiences.
Since the escalation of tensions in Cameroon's northwest and southwest regions, persons living with disabilities, especially those with visual impairment, have been in all kinds of dangers.
Evidence-based stories in Fundong where a blind person was killed because he was not aware of such rates, but this information was already circulating on social media. We know of information where hotspots in Bamenda have been targeted and blind people have been kidnapped, some have been tortured. And so these are things that media would help us to uncover so that measures can be taken to improve access to mass media, but more importantly, respect of international humanitarian law applicable in times of conflict.
If not for the swift intervention of the Almighty, Njukang Princely would have been shot in my 16 Boya.
And I was stepping out to get breakfast, and then the guy appeared from nowhere and began shouting, "If you shake, I'll shoot." I had no idea he was talking to me. In fact, I did not even think he could be talking to me. And so I just kept moving. And the guy repeated the threats over and over. And the next thing I noticed was that he was holding my neck and tapping the gun on my head. The only saving grace was that one of the persons who was part of that crew had probably seen me somewhere and knew that I was visually impaired, and so he shouted from behind, "No shoot, no shoot, that man a blind man."
The current state of these persons in the northwest and southwest regions requires a strict implementation of the law and the defense of their fundamental rights.
In terms of conflict, it's a kind of people act instinctively from an egocentric perspective. People run, and those, I mean, they seek to get safety, but those with disability, they find themselves in serious problems.
The work shows how alarming this can be. This is. And I think that government and its partners, civil society, NGO actors, the international community should have the recommendations on their desk to inform how policy can be shaped in this direction.
Kesa Princely presented his findings during his PhD thesis defense in Boya. His performance before the jury and the quality of his work earned him honors.
Rex Afon reporting in Boya. Still in the southwest region, the situation in Bangambi is alarming. The bridge linking the village to the rest of Manu division has been in disrepair for over 6 years now, crippling the local economy. Rex Cedric Chakutio presents to us the state of the said bridge.
For Upper Bayan division, for Manu division.
In Ebangabi village in the Manu division of the southwest region on a standstill, this agricultural neighborhood is currently cut off from the rest of the country because of this bridge that connects the village to other neighborhoods in the division. Built by the government, the bridge has been in this state for over 6 years.
So now, bridge where the government it be built for the community, for this side, for Upper Bayan, for sustain the community, for help the community.
Faced with this situation, which is stifling the local economy, residents demand the urgent rehabilitation of this infrastructure so they can transport their harvest to bigger neighborhoods and sell their products, thus improving their living conditions, which has been severely impacted by this prolonged isolation.
And now we talk health. Menstrual pain is a common struggle for many women, often impacting daily life and work productivity. It's more than just a private issue. It's a genuine health concern that can hinder concentration and equally performance. Specialists stress the importance of consulting a doctor to identify underlying causes and also get proper relief rather than resorting to self-medication. Lon McNary reports on this often overlooked public health challenge. Her report.
Dysmenorrhea, commonly known as severe menstrual cramp, is not just discomfort. It's monthly crisis that leads to significant school and work absenteeism.
La dysménorrhée, c'est ce qu'on appelle.
Dysmenorrhea is what is commonly known as menstrual cramp. All women are called to have cyclic menses, which can be 28 days, 26, and even 30. It depends on the organism. Menstrual cramp, according to medical specialists, must not be painful, but certain factors make it painful, especially young women.
Les règles sont en principe
Menses are normally not painful, so it should not disturb or cause pain to women. Unfortunately, there are signs like headache, abdominal pain, fatigue, and many others that has a great impact on women. This pain is due to the disturbance of the spiral artery of the uterus. Thus, the contraction of this organ is the cause of the pain.
On appelle les artères spiralées de l'utérus. Ce sont des artères qu'on retrouve à l'intérieur de l'utérus.
It is to be noted that there are two types of menstrual cramp, primary and secondary dysmenorrhea.
Dysménorrhée primaire, c'est lorsque la jeune fille qui vient d'avoir ses règles.
Primary dysmenorrhea is when a girl who saw her menses for the first time starts having pains after 3 months, even the same day. Secondary dysmenorrhea occurs when she already has her menses and after 2 years to 3, even 5, she starts having pains during her menses, commonly called organic, and you have to know that not all the menses are painful.
Généralement ici on dit que ça ce sont des dysménorrhées organiques. Ça veut dire que
this sickness is not above medical expertise, and it's important for all young women to learn how to count their menses because this has a great impact on the active life of these young women. Menstrual cramp has so many consequences on women. One of these is barrenness. Thus, it's important to treat this sickness and make sure all precautions are taken.
And now we talk sports. The Disciplinary Commission of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, is expected to make an official statement about the crowd trouble that occurred during the final of the AFCON last January 18, 2026 soonest. The members of the jury met on Tuesday with officials from the Royal Moroccan Football Federation and also the Football Federation of Senegal. The two presented facts which will be studied by the Disciplinary Commission of CAF before the final verdict will be made known. The jury also interrogated players of both teams. Details with our sportsman, Smart Chikan Gabriel.
The tense atmosphere which characterized the finals of the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco still remains a major preoccupation at the level of the Confederation of African Football, CAF. The Disciplinary Commission of CAF officially heard the two protagonists, Senegal and Morocco, on Tuesday. According to an inside source on the side of Senegal, it is alleged that the crowd movement and protest following contested refereeing decisions risk financial sanctions and possibility of partial closed door for one or more matches, as well as the opening of a file for the head coach of Senegal, Pape Bouna Tao, accused to have encouraged his players to leave the pitch to the dressing room. On the side of Morocco, CAF is expected to examine several crucial points, amongst them security management, throwing of objects and use of lasers from the stands, and certain provocative gestures by players, altercation and provocations outside the field, referees' corruption, poisoning and intoxication of Senegalese team captain of Morocco, Ashraf Hakimi, and Ismaila Saibari on throwing of towels, and the role of the head coach, Walid Regragui, whose attitude during the incident and post-match statements were reported in the official document. In an official media release from the Football Federation of Senegal, they indicated that two of their players, Ismaila Sarr and Elimane Ndiaye, were also interrogated for long periods by the jury, as well as the coach, Pape Bouna Tao. With the request from the Royal Moroccan Football Federation, CAF's Disciplinary Commission has promised to come out with its decisions in the few hours ahead.
And that sports element ends this first part of the news. Talking Point comes up next. My guest tonight on Talking Point is Chief Barrister Christopher NDONG. He is the CRM Secretary General. Good evening, Barrister. It's a pleasure to have you on Talking Point tonight.
Good evening, Madame Immaculate Ogwe. Good evening, televiewers of Equinoxe in their millions.
Barrister, an unusual incident happened in Buda. It is a locality found in the Bambutus division of the West region. A meeting organized by the CRM party was disrupted by close to 10 heavily built men. Can you explain to us what exactly happened on that day?
Yes, in the Cameroon Renaissance movement, we have quarterly meetings where at the level of the division or subdivision, the officers of the party are convened to take stock of the party activities and to know the strength of the party within the division or the subdivision. This meeting was convened in the Bambutos division and precisely in Buda, where the militants came all over to attend and take stock of party activities after the failed presidential elections where our party did not take part. So some hoodlums, which they call normally in English grobra, decided to come in their more than 10, in their 20, to disrupt the meeting. They actually entered when the communal secretary of Buda was making his speech and made allusion of the fact that militants of the Cameroon Renaissance movement, citing the one in Buda, was arrested, in Babajou was arrested And he was about talking on the others when these hoodlums who had entered and sat woke up and said, that is not the only person that was arrested. Many people were arrested, and that Kamto is responsible. Kamto is the one. If it doesn't release all of those people, in fact, they were going to disrupt the place. They started violence there, disrupting the meeting and creating chaos, pushing things aside. In fact, they actually caused the havoc that we saw on television. So we are saying that we don't know their mission.
You describe the men who stormed that place as hoodlums. However, these same men claim to be militants of the CRM party. How do you respond to their claims?
These people are not militants of the Cameroon Renaissance movement. If they were militants, the number of militants of the CRM who came there would have identified them. I'm saying that these people were not identified within our ranks as militants. We know our militants, and we are a peaceful party. We cannot have people like that who will come and do what they did. The meeting was peaceful until they started. And you see, they were all group brass. That is, these hoodlums sit in their corpulence and then trying to disrupt the meeting. It is a message they are sending to us because they know upcoming elections are in view. So they want to create fear and destabilize our party. They will still remain strong, and we have checked within our ranks, they were not our militants. You see, even the commandant of that area was in that meeting, and it was a legalized meeting. So we of the CRM will now be disturbing our own meeting. So it's evident that they were hoodlums.
What's the story behind Ludovic Daga, one of the persons they are clamoring for his release, and why was he arrested?
When you see the way they were talking and acting, you see a lot of anger from somewhere that does not resemble militants of the party. Kamto does not arrest people. Professor Maurice Kamto, who they are claiming to go and remove the people he is locking up. Has Kamto locked anybody? No. Is Kamto keeping a precinct? No. Is Kamto the one that ordered for the arrest? No. They were arrested by the state, and they are in the state prison. How will you come and be claiming that Kamto? Why will you for everything? Kamto. Even when Kamto is not supposed to be called, Kamto is called. What has he done? Did Kamto arrest those people? Is Kamto keeping those people? If we left for Kamto, Kamto would have long released them. Then you know, with something that has been organized by some people hiding in the dark, that is how it always operates. It has no meaning, no sense, and of course, Cameroonians are watching. How can you claim that Kamto has locked up some people? Kamto himself, in most of the cases, was being held under house arrest. He was locked up at one time. Even after that, with the same people, then he was later released. How can Kamto be locking people whom he is fighting for? So, in fact, there is no reason as to what they were claiming there. You now know that they were sent by some people. And you know, after that, we saw them in front of a bonnet of a car dividing money after doing their job successfully. We are a peaceful party. We will not have reacted. You saw how they scattered and ramshackled the place. It is not the CRM members. It cannot be our members.
You claim these men were caught sharing money or distributing money amongst themselves after having stormed the premises where the CRM party was having its meeting in Buda and the Bamtus division. Who do you think is behind what you term as sabotage?
Since the creation of this party up to today, looking at the last presidential election, you know that government, I'm not hiding it, government has a hand, and the elite of the ruling party, they have a hidden hand. Two things. The good thing with us is that they do it foolishly, they do it carelessly, and they do it when nothing can convince Cameroonians that it is militants of the CRM. So you have to know that we have always been a target when it comes up to the political life of this country. They will not allow us to hold our meeting. Even when they allow it, they will send people behind to come and disrupt. So we cannot hide our feelings to know that it is our opponents the CPDM. It is the administration, the local elites of the CPDM government. In fact, we point an accusing finger on them. We cannot keep hiding who is doing it and who is not doing it. We are saying that when they do it, they went out, they were dividing the money of their booty. The booty that were paid to them to come and disrupt the meeting. It was seen on television. It was seen, it's on the social media. It's not something I'm talking as if I'm lying. I'm not lying. So they have done what they have done. Well, we say posterity holds everybody responsible for what they are doing today. Tomorrow we shall tell them that this is what you did. Don't regret, because you think that you are doing it to us, you are doing it to kill the steam of change in this country, and everybody will answer in due time.
What has been done so far to hold the perpetrators accountable, considering the meeting was authorized, as you rightly said, by the divisional officer from Buda?
You know, we have a legal team in the Cameroon Resistance Movement. We have the local administration of the party in Buda. We have that of the division in Bambutos. Everything is under control. We shall not leave it lying low. The legal department, the legal body of the party, made up of lawyers and even the militants, are preparing action against all of this. But first of all, what does the law say? In such an act, the commandant was there. Why did he get those people arrested? How can people come in broad daylight, capture, create all the headache that they created, and you start asking us to open up investigation? Investigation is opened by itself. The procurator of that area was supposed to seize the occasion himself and then open investigation and then report to us. We'll come and give our statements. Why will it only be that the CRM to go and report, even on things that we have seen the culprits? Arrest them, bring them to book, and then we shall come and defend as civil claimant.
Now, Barrister, the video which we watched on social media, before the men left that area, they will attack other CRM gatherings if Ludovic Daga and other CRM militants were not released soonest. Is the party, or let me say, is the CRM party not worried about such threats?
This incident was made in order to send some local information or messages to all the sub-divisional officers around the country. Oh, CRM is very brutal. Look at the Buddha. They always take it as a reference and deny us authorization. We know, but we are telling the divisional officers to grant us, we are a peaceful people. If the people say they are going to come, it is not the responsibility of the state machinery. We have the police, we have the gendarme, we have security in this country. Let them preempt those situations and get those people arrested. And it will be a shame if the Cameroon government does not bring to book those people who committed the act that they did in Buda.
And how prepared is the CRM party for the upcoming municipal and legislative elections?
The Cameroon Renaissance Movement has always been very clear in its action. The elections were postponed, and today it is right for the elections to be called. We are waiting. Nobody decides who should go to the election. It is the highest organ of the party which shall sit, and it shall sit when the time comes. We don't procrastinate. We don't talk before time. We wait for the issues to come up. We know the calendar fixed that in February, from the 7th to the 9th, the President of the Republic should convene the electorate for the twin elections. So it is only after that presidential decree will come out that the highest organ of the party will now give directions to the militant as to whether we are going or not. But it should be very clear. We have never refused that we will not go in for this election. The national president said it, that we are ready every time and any time. And it is our right to decide to go and not to go. But as to this current election that is coming up, we shall decide in due time. I cannot tell you before time, but know that we are ready for the competition. That is all I can tell you, bro.
Chief Barrister Christopher NDONG, CRM Secretary General. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation on Talking Point tonight. And that's why I'll put a cap to tonight's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. Thank you for always staying tuned to us. Stay in the company of interesting programs on Equinoxe TV. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow same time, God willing.